Frita. Não, mas batata frita é bom, não é? É bom que eu estava experimentando. Alô, polícia. Roubaram meu computador. Não, aqui em Los Angeles, moro na vida. Só como é que eu vou te para Los Angeles? Só um momento, só um momento.
I bet that was pretty mind-blowing for most of you. I know some of you have seen that, maybe not. But videos like these are what capture people's attention. Right now. YouTube is a really, really big website where it's not just for entertainment anymore. As more attention has been gathered towards these videos, people who generate these videos have actually been making money and profit off of making videos. YouTube started in the springtime of 2006, so it's only been around for about 5 years. And in these 5 years, it has taken a time to actually really grow. And it has now become a website where they can be like entrepreneurs and post their videos and become very successful. It's not really sure how YouTube pays you, but they do. It actually just it's based on views. So if your video gets a lot of views, then you get compensated for it because you attracted attention to YouTube, the website. So the more views you generate, the more money you get paid, basically. And it's kind of been a revolution. Just in a short 5 years, people like Dave have been able to become like the #1 subscribed musician. And there's different genres as well. There's like music and comedy and parody, where people have posted different videos and stuff such. Dave even said that YouTube was the reason he, is today. Without YouTube, he wouldn't be where he is today. He used to live in Pennsylvania. He was going to go to college and do his own things, but then he discovered YouTube and he moved out to LA. Like most YouTubers, he moved out to LA, came here, and pursued that whole goal of becoming someone famous on YouTube. It's not such a big world, I guess, because it's just 5 years old. I remember when it came out in 2006, I was like, YouTube, what's that, It's not a really big thing, but now it's becoming grown, it's snowballing to something that's really, really big. And there's actually a website that I found that shows you how much money these people have been making, and you can't just get money from YouTube. You have to actually become partners with YouTube, and it's so this is just an amount of figures. Natalie Chan Natalie Chan makes about $100,000 a year. She does videos on makeup tutorials, and she's just one of the few makeup gurus, and it's just basically teaching how to do extravagant makeup and certain looks and such. Young Turks make about $112,000 a year, and most people just make videos. They make parodies, they make fun of celebrities. It's just a world where people can be creative and make money off of. Shay Carl is actually one of the most known figures out there. He, I'm going to talk a little bit more specifically about him later, but he just, he used to install granite countertops as a DJ. He was a real estate agent. He did a little bit of everything, and he really didn't know what his career was, but he stumbled upon YouTube and now makes $140 grand a year. Fred, he's still, I think, in high school, and he's making that much money, and, you know, it's insane. Brian Higa, you know, just making fun videos. And most of these, Philip DeFranco does more political aspects. He focuses more on current events and such. But the thing that most of these videos have in common is original content. You can't just post whatever and like hope it's a hit. You have to be original and creative and attract attention. And number one is obviously Shane Dawson. You know, most people, you have to have like a certain humor and certain little things to like what Shane Dawson does. But yeah, those are just some of the figures that YouTubers make per year. And so people like Dave Davis, as I mentioned, he is the #1 subscribed musician, and he, like I said, he used to live in Philly, he moved out here, and people like that, it's those inspiring stories that have also captivated the attention of other people who watch these videos to actually integrate themselves into this YouTube community and become part of this revolutionizing website. Also, people like Lisa Donovan, she was studying to like be an editor and a producer, and she wanted to start her own company. And she actually was with YouTube since the very beginning. She started posting videos in 2006 when it came out, when the website came out, YouTube. And she was just, you know, one day out of boredom decided she would post a video, just being silly. She's like, oh, well, I want to be a producer and an editor, so I'll just put something on there. And from there, her company just kind of expanded, and now she is owner of Maker Studio, which is a company, and she has hired various editors and producers and shooters, and her like ideal for the company is to integrate people like her who are original content creators and want to participate in this community so that they can be successful as well. And as part of this community, you know, hopefully some of you are thinking of just a silly hobby, but people have actually made a very, very good future out of this, and it's still growing, so we'll see where it goes from here.
Jesus, what did you think?
The presentation was very well organized, but I'm not sure did you have more pictures for us to show?
Yeah.
Or did you run out of time?
I did.
Well, yeah, well, you didn't get to see the rest of the pictures. I'm pretty sure she had it well planned out, but I guess she wasn't prepared time-wise, but she had supporting details that supported what she was saying. And yeah, other than that, very good presentation.
All right, well, there are a couple of things I'm going to disagree with you about a little bit, Jesus. There are a couple of things, though, that I thought were pretty good. The video clip, it does go on a little long as your attention device, but it's pretty effective at introducing the topic, so I'm willing to give you, some credit on that since this is the subject that you're talking about. But you need a little bit more focus about where you're going to go with the topic. Where are you? I know you're right. Oh, there you are. I know a little bit more focus about where you're going to go with the topic, because it sounds very generic about YouTube, and I think you need to have a clearer end goal in mind. I didn't really hear a preview, and it just seemed to me like it was a string of personalities that you were talking about instead of it being organized in some way. Now, there may have been an organizational pattern, but it wasn't really detectable because the only signposts that we were being given were basically, you know, the list of names that you had. And you had the top 10 people who were making money on YouTube, and then you had the name of the woman who has become a big producer and provider on YouTube, and there were a couple of other names that got included as well, and it sounds like it's all structured around those names instead of around, you know, here's what the content often consists of, here's how you make money on it, and here's where, you know, the big changes have occurred as YouTube has developed, or something like that, that groups that information together in digestible bites. Instead, it just seems like it's a stream of, here's another piece of information, here's another example, here's another example, here's another example, here's another example. And I think that got a little bit tiresome. The planning was obviously a little problematic because you had a little bit of an issue getting to the one page there. I'm sure that it all worked perfectly at home. It always does, and then you get here and it doesn't work nearly as well as you wanted it to. It wasn't problematic, but I mean, you've got a very dynamic subject here, and it seems like visuals would be a big part of it. And after the opening clip, basically what we got are screenshots of the top 10 moneymakers and their number on it, and that's okay. But that's about as much information as you get from a pretty, like I said, a pretty dynamic visual delivery system, and I think you probably could have gotten more out of it. All right, thank you.